welcome in to a Phillies emergency podcast. I've been waiting to say those words because, look, if you're here with us, you have eyeballs, you watch this Phillies team, you know they needed a lot of help in that bullpen, and the Phillies make a move without having to give up anything. I am Jamie Lynch. This is an emergency PHLY Phillies podcast brought to you by our friends over at Bet365. You can find out why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Use promo code PHLY365 at sign up for new users. And you would say there isn't a ton ordinary about this move. The Phillies come to terms on a one-year deal with veteran reliever David Robertson. It is now his third stint with the Philadelphia Phillies. He was here in 2019. That led to a quick Tommy John surgery. I believe he only pitched in 7 games and then hit the IL and then returned again in 2021, I believe it was, after being part of a trade with the Chicago Cubs. He is now back. So welcome in. Let's make sense of this. According to Matt Gelb from The Athletic, he has the financials better than anyone on this deal so far. So it is a $5 million one-year deal. That deal is actually going to cost the Phillies a lot more. And I feel really good about this. Not in the terms of David Robertson is your back-end closer, but in that the Phillies know they need help. They need help in the batting department. They need a right-handed outfield bat. They need probably 2 to 3 bullpen arms. And the beautiful thing about this is you acquire a veteran. We'll get into his age and all of that momentarily. You acquire a veteran that didn't cost you anything. He's 40 years old. He waited out till the midseason point to sign with somebody because he wanted to sign with a contender at this point in his deal. He was with the Texas Rangers last year, performed very well for them. But John Middleton had to go into his pocketbook a little bit to sign David Robertson. He pitched yesterday morning up in Providence, Rhode Island. The Phillies did have scouts up there along with several other contending teams. The reports out of Providence were that David looked pretty good. His velocity was sitting in the 89 to 91 range, which, look, for us old guys, that's pretty good. If I threw 91, my arm would fly down the street. He looked pretty good. I believe it was John Heyman yesterday tweeted after his appearance, expect a signing relatively soon. Buzz out of the throwing session was that he looked good. And I started thinking about David Robertson, yesterday. When I saw that, I went, kind of owes us one if we're being frank. They've paid him a lot of money in his 2 stints here. Didn't really get a return on investment there. Maybe the third time's the charm here with David Robertson. But the deal is actually going to cost John Middleton upwards of $12 million. So for everybody out there that says John Middleton is cheap and the Phillies do this and that, well, they're now in the 4th luxury tax threshold. And every threshold you go up, the percentage on the deal you have to pay more on. So the Phillies are actually going out of pocket nearly $12 million because it includes the 110% tax they must pay on every dollar being over that 4th luxury tax. If you're in the chat with us right now, let's get a little thumbs up for John Middleton not being a cheap ass here. Look, we'll see if it works out or not, but $12 million essentially for David Robertson for half a season of baseball. One thing you can clearly not call him is cheap. And Ethan, I hear you. $12 million is pocket change. Oh, for a guy like you. Oh, congrats on all your success, Ethan. But yes, millionaires and billionaires don't like spending money unless they want their damn trophy back. So for John Middleton to spend $12 million on basically 2 months, hopefully 3 months of baseball is admirable. So look, this is not to say this is the Phillies' only move. I think this is the start of the snowball down the mountainside. This was a move, as we just said, didn't cost you any prospects. It's better than what they have. Now, David Robertson is 40 years old. Last season, he was with the Texas Rangers. And frankly, he was pretty respectable last year for the Rangers. He threw, let's go over his numbers real quick for the Rangers last year. And Julia Hoff behind the scenes will show you the MLB Savant page for last year's numbers. If you look at his pitching run value, there's a lot of red spikes in this. For an old guy, he got it done last year. His fastball run value, his ERA, his expecting batting average, his whiff percentage up around almost 80%, his Ks and his K percentage 96th percentile last year. He did find a lot of barrels. He gets a lot of ground balls. There's the 5 pitches he throws. He's going to throw that cutter a lot, mixing it up with the curve, slider, change, sinker. So last year for the Texas Rangers, 99 strikeouts and 72 innings pitched. He had 27 walks in those 72 innings pitched. The reality of the situation is the Philadelphia Phillies are 23rd in Major League Baseball in bullpen ERA. Let that sink in. 23rd. You're not going to win a World Series with a bullpen this depleted. Jose Alvarado still chaps my ass, if we're being frank, but the $5 million or so you saved in paying Jose Alvarado this year, that just gets transferred over to David Robertson. David Robertson is self-represented, so he was his own agent in this deal, and he's coming into a bullpen that, frankly, needs a lot of help. So I don't think David Robertson is your back-end guy, but he's certainly a guy you like throwing over Joe Ross. He's a guy that's pitched in every role in the bullpen throughout his career, most notably made a big name for himself up in New York, but he's done high leverage spots. He's closed. He's done middle relief. He's done any position you can be in a major league bullpen. David Robertson has done it and done it very well, frankly. This is a guy with a really nice resume. Now, he's also 40 years old, so let's hope the arm is there. I don't think this is a guy you can necessarily tax, but this is a guy that's not going to be scared by any moment, any situation. He's seen it all. He's done it all in Major League Baseball. So you feel comfortable putting him in. You probably start out with some lower leverage situations and try to build that arm up over the course of the next 6 weeks, 7 weeks or so, because Jose Alvarado can return to the bullpen, which you're going to need, and he can return in August. He's just not playoff eligible, which is the real kicker here. So you need to kind of supplement the help in the bullpen, and David Robertson's going to be able to do that. Hopefully over the next 2 months, you can get his arm up. Maybe that velo can sit in that 92, 93 range and get some movement on it. But a guy, 16-year vet, a career 2.91 ERA over 16 years, which is really impressive. Almost 1,200 career Ks. He's always been a good strikeout guy. And look, that's what you're going to need. You're going to need to miss some bats. You're going to need to produce some ground balls. And you're going to need to step into a situation where, frankly, you can't do much worse. So, David Robertson, welcome back to Philadelphia for the 3rd time. This isn't naked cartwheels down the street, happy dance time, but it is a sign that bigger things are to come. There have been reports over the past couple of weeks that I believe it was just Jason Stark on Friday said somebody with knowledge of MLB ongoings told me that Dombrowski is willing to do something big. We've talked about the Orioles bullpen situation. We've talked about maybe Duran from the Twins. We've talked about, maybe even Clase from the Guardians. There's been some big rumors out there. And the thing that has me excited the most is not necessarily David Robertson's play. I do love the guy that's kind of seen it all, done it all. But this tells me that they're going all in. I think you do this move as a precursor. Let me go slightly overpay for the other contenders. I don't have to give up anything. Frank Barber in the chat says, I love this signing. It's a depth piece. Yes, it's just that. Do you want to have possibly Tanner Banks? Let's assume David Robertson looks the part come mid-September. Do you want to throw David Robertson or do you want to throw a Joe Ross or Tanner Banks? You probably want to do it with the guy that's done it before on the big stage. So it is that depth piece. It's not going to prohibit them from making that big splash at the trade deadline. All it does to me is signal that, yeah, they're about to go all in. Right or wrong, we're going to find out. July 31st is the MLB trade deadline. It's quickly approaching, but David Robertson is the first move. They'll probably ramp him up over the next couple weeks. We'll see what kind of role he starts in. I would imagine, probably that, 6th inning type of guy until the arm starts to feel well. Hopefully the arm is still there after he throws his first game. Us 40-year-olds, it's a young man's game. But that's pretty much it about David Robertson. Not going to cost the Phillies anything. I believe it's a precursor to bigger things to come. There's clearly going to be more bullpen arms added, hopefully a right-handed outfield bat as well. But this got my trade deadline juices flowing a little bit here because I really do believe this is just a precursor to more to come. So that is it. Tyler Zulli is going to be back 2 o'clock tomorrow. 2 o'clock? 1 o'clock. Come on, Jamie. Act like you know what you're doing here. 1 o'clock tomorrow. He'll make sense of this all on the show. So make sure you tune in to Tyler at 1 o'clock. Maybe he can grab Jim Salisbury to talk about the veteran right-hander David Robertson. But this was the quick Phillies emergency podcast talking about the signing. Kudos to John Middleton, paying $12 million for essentially 2.5 months of baseball service. Thank you, sir. More to come. And don't forget to tune into the PHLY Phillies show tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Everybody in this chat, let's get a little thumbs up. Let's get the good vibes going here for Mr. Robertson. Where is it? Right down here? Right down here. Smash that. Come on. Hit that thumbs up button. Let's go. We need some good juju here in Philadelphia. So that's all for me. Thanks to Julia Hoff behind the scenes. Thanks to our friends over at Bet365 for bringing you this podcast. And don't forget to tune into the Phillies tomorrow at 1 o'clock with Tyler Zulli. See you then.
We all silly like the mayor.